What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another workout progression. Today we got a lower body workout progression. Today's workout did not take that long at all. Today's workout and the rest of the week is going to be focused on getting me back ready to jump again. So sadly I won't be jumping this week, but it's okay. It's all part of the process. When I do jump next week, it's probably going to be like vertical jumps. It's not going to be that intense because I really need to build back into it so I'm not out even longer. But right here is my warm-up. It's the new warm-up that I do before I start my sessions and workouts. I also do some other stuff like low weight on the exercises I'm going to be doing to kind of help warm my body up for it. Maybe in the future I will post a video of my detailed warm-up because I did not show all of it. But anyway, we start off the workout with some slow heavyweight squats. Right now 225 is decently heavy for me, so that's what I did for my last two sets. I did about 3 sets of 5 to 6 reps, slow and control, so I could work those tendons. I then moved to some RDLs. I think I did 3 sets. First set was with 135, and then the last 2 sets were with 225. I did 5 reps on those, really focusing on that lowering part and letting it stretch my hamstrings and then trying to explode up out of it. I love RDLs, guys. The next thing I did was some calf raises, but I did it in a different way where my knees were bent so I could engage my soleus a little bit more. I just haven't really done any calf raises that engage the soleus that much in a while, so I wanted to do it. But then in the workout, I did some dunk technique to work on some dunks that I've been really wanting to get consistent. My between the legs has gotten not really consistent as it used to be, so I'm trying to get that back. Worked on the technique for that. I did some technique for some other stuff also, but I did not show it. Now, I did actually want to mention something before I stopped dunking because of the whole situation with my leg. The last session that I had, it went pretty badly. And at first I thought it was because I was bit by a brown recluse and the effects of that were kind of having their toll on my body. But now that I know that it wasn't a brown recluse, I think I know what it was. So I was testing something out. I don't know exactly how long I had been doing it, maybe a month or two. But what I had did was I stopped stretching unless I was extremely sore. Now, I wanted to test it out because I listened to John and Isaiah's podcast, THP podcast, and Isaiah talked about how he doesn't really stretch anymore. And it hasn't necessarily helped him or made him worse. So I wanted to try it out and see how my body would react to it. Not saying that you should stop stretching because it's going to help you get gains. I just wanted to see how my body would react to it. And if I can recall how I felt in my last session, it was like all my muscles in my legs were tight. So I warmed up good. My knees themselves were warmed up, but like my hip flexors, my quads, all of that was tight and I couldn't understand why, and I was having a bad session. But looking back on it now, I think that was the reason why. So I'm going to try and add stretching back into my routine. I'm going to be careful with it because if you stretch too much, you can irritate your tendons. And as you guys know, I have patellar tendonitis, and I talked to John about it, and he said that, especially after a session where my knee is flared up, stretching is not going to help that at all. It's going to pull on that tendon even more, and it's going to aggravate it more. So as long as my knee and my patellar is feeling okay, I'm going to stretch. I want my body to be a little bit more loose. Now that I know that not stretching doesn't necessarily help me and it might actually make me a little worse, we're going to see how that is. Starting today, I'm going to do some stretches after my body cools down a little bit. At least for my knee, I'm going to wait until my body cools down a little bit. My knee's not really sore, but I just want to be sure because I just put a bunch of pressure and stress on it. So I'm going to stretch my hamstrings, my calves, and then I'll do my knee last. But anyway, that's basically the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, turn on the bell so you guys know when I upload. If you guys are interested in basketball or dunking clothing, please check that link in the description below and use code FROSTY for 10% off. It helps you, it helps me. Why won't you do it? And if you guys are interested in coaching, please check that link in the description also. I want to coach dedicated athletes, build my experience as a coach. I'm actually currently working on an official certification, so I'm not just some guy on the internet. Can't talk. I'm actually working on an official certification, so I'm not just a guy on the internet just throwing out workouts, because I do want to be able to back it up. I do have experiences, and I did do research on my own about a lot of things, but I want that official certification. Obviously, if you have a certification, doesn't mean you know everything about training. I'm just looking at it as another way to expand my knowledge in a more official way, I guess, instead of looking stuff up on the internet and reading studies, which that is official. if you go to the right sources. But anyway, I want to help you guys out. Help me out by letting me coach you. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the video, and I will see you guys in the next one, which will maybe be next week for next week's dunk progression. I don't know. See you guys then. Peace.